Hey everybody, Dubba here, and today we're going to be discussing my very first Summoners War Chronicles video. So today I want to dive right on into the basics. I want to talk about some of my starting teams, some of the monsters that are going to be required to complete the storyline and some of the dungeons, and then just some of the overall basics of the game. So why don't you sit back, buckle up, grab some popcorn, and let's dive right on into the action. First and foremost, let me just say, Nat 5s are for endgame content and PvP content. Some are really good for beginning PvE content, such as Annabelle, the Water Occult Girl, or Alicia even, the Water Polar Queen. Those are some great options for beginning PvE content, but eventually you're going to hit a wall where a Nat 3 is going to be skilled up, leveled up, and awakened further than any Nat 5 can get. So stick with your Nat 3s and Nat 4s in the beginning, and then later in the game, work on your Nat 5s. So I'm not going to ruin the story for everyone. You either read through it and watch the videos in the game and enjoy the storyline, or you really don't. Either way, your main priority through the whole game is to do the story quests until you are done. The story quests is how you unlock every feature of this game, so you really need to do it. What I will say is don't waste any of your experience items on your starter pets or summons, but this game calls them pets. You will not be using these monsters for very long at all, and honestly, the starting monsters they give you are very weak overall and aren't really worth leveling anyways. But you can make it through the first dungeon without leveling them, and that's the most important part. Shortly into the story, the game will put you into a small story dungeon. Story dungeons are very small and usually have some kind of gimmick and must be manually done. They cannot be done on auto. Luckily, this first one is very easy to clear. Now, once you are done, the game gives you a free legend scroll with a 10 times summon. Awesome, right? And here's the kicker. You get 30 chances to roll this 10 times. So make sure you pick what you like the most. My recommendation is don't necessarily aim for a Nat 5. Like I said, they are nice and all, but end game content. You need monsters that will get you there, and then you can worry about the end game. So my advice to you is you want to find a combination of Fire Fairy, which will be your main DPS, Wind Pixie, which will be your main buffer, and she acts as a debuffer. She is by far the most crucial to this team, so aim for her over everyone because she can also carry you through your first major dungeon. And you want Wind Yeti. He will be your best healer. A lot of people will recommend Konamaya, which is the Water Guru, but my best start on this game was when I used Wind Yeti over Konamaya, and I never looked back. Assemble that team and they can cleave almost every dungeon in just about all of TOA besides a few gimmick stages. I personally used this team and this team only in one of my clears, and it was the smoothest run ever. I cleared TOA floor 200, yes, I said 200, in a week and a half with this team. So they will take you everywhere. Also, I forgot to mention, no matter what main character you pick, that won't change this team. Now let's discuss combat in this game a bit. To be honest, it's pretty simple. For the most part, the combat is auto. As you can see with the push of a button, my character and his monsters just go ham on everything in the area. You could choose to manual it, but you can only control yourself and whatever summon you have selected. Of which, I would always recommend your healer, unless you are doing something that requires you to do something with a damage dealer. And the reason why is because the two monsters you aren't controlling have skill cooldowns, while the monster you are controlling uses mana which you regenerate at regular intervals. There are traits that increase the amount of mana you have and how fast it regenerates, but this caps at character level 40, Even when you are playing auto, the monster you have selected will still use mana and not have skill cooldowns, making your healer the best one to control because then he can heal more often, more than once every 20 to 30 seconds, which is about the normal skill cooldown time. A little more into combat, there are telegraphed AoEs that typically do have special effects. Some are just major damage, and some stun or poison you. But you do have a dodge roll. Granted, your dodge roll is limited with charges and does have a cooldown, but again, you can decrease the cooldown and increase your charges to a max of 3 via passive traits if you level your character. Your character on auto does not evade the telegraphed attacks. Instead, he just stands there and takes them. So sometimes you may need to manually move him or her out of the way, especially if you're farming a rune dungeon. In order to get that one level higher, in order to get those extra stars on your runes or extra rarity on your runes, you might need to manual on a boss. This is all I have for today. I hope this little introduction was helpful. I will be making a lot more videos, so I hope to see you all in the future. If you have any questions about this game, please leave a comment down in the comments below. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe. Until next time, Dubba out.